No, I think that any good development is cognizant of the fact that some of your intentions might need to be rethought. Uh,
Okay, so the fact that Steven says this a year ago, and then not a month or two ago, a couple months over the last couple months, let's be real, they've changed the way the caravan system works. They've redone their melee systems. They've redone crafting and gathering. So originally you could only gather specific things. So you couldn't gather everything. You had to look for the tree that sparkled or the rock that sparkled, and that's what you could gather. Well, with this last gathering update, every resource, similar to New World, every resource is gatherable now in the world. So they changed that. They're completely redoing their combat from Alpha 1 because people didn't quite like it, so they're changing it all up. Crafting, gathering change, blah, blah, blah. Melee change, range change. Uh, the node change, they changed the map. So, like, when he says, will services make it to live? And then Steven responds with something to the effect of, yeah, I think every developer has to be aware that that shit's going to happen, right? And then fast forward a year, and they're changing everything? Everything? Like, the scope and the philosophy of the game and the scope of the game and everything's the same. However, they're literally going back and redoing core mechanics like combat in both facets, like gathering, the fact that they can now gather every resource that's available in the world. And the size of the map, as well as the number of nodes, have gone down in order to facilitate a much better feel of the world. So they're far enough in testing where they're going, yeah, we need to change this. Yeah, we need to change this. And I just think it's cool to see that now, and then hear him saying this a year ago. It's a consistency in his personality and the design philosophy of the studio. And like I've said a million times, consistency is the best foundation to build your philosophy off of and to build the direction of your company off of. If you're always consistent with your message from 2 years to a year ago till now, then that really gives a track record, that really gives a hard magnetic north for the compass of the company and the design of the game to continue to strive towards. Then every decision you make from a business standpoint, from a design standpoint, from a philosophy standpoint, all knows that it has to aim towards that direction because that's where you guys are and you've consistently been there. So I think it's something to take into consideration on a deeper level than just like I think the game's going to do well. Is that to know that there is a indie studio and an owner of said studio or creative director of said project that has that consistency or they have that magnetic north instilled so deeply into their philosophy, into their no wrong their culture, uh, is like it gives you confidence on a deeper level that not only will they deliver a game at the level that you want, that the content will have the consistency that you want, that they'll pay attention to the game as it ages. I think it just gives a lot more confidence in that aspect of the studio than just the confidence in the game itself.